Back in 2019, which feels like 100 years ago, I recorded an episode after watching Marie Kondo's Tidying Up. Do you remember that show on Netflix? I was so angry with that entire show, and I recorded like a very fiery podcast episode. It was my 4th episode ever. So if you want to go back and listen to 2019 Kristen Carder, before she knew she was a coach, before she knew she was going to be working exclusively with adults with ADHD, all of my growth will be on full display. It's episode number 4 at the very beginning of 2019. And since then, I've learned so much. I've learned so much more about not just about ADHD, but about trauma and emotional regulation and how those 3 things, ADHD, trauma, and emotional regulation, intersect. And so today's episode is like an updated, completely new take on organization for the ADHD brain. And our ADHD brains really struggle with organization because it's literally one of our deficient executive functioning skills. It's in a group, like a cluster group of organization, prioritization, and planning. And those 3 things are in this like cluster of, an executive function that is deficient for most of us. And that's hard. That's real hard. Not only is this very hard for us, but we also struggle with emotional regulation and task initiation, which are 2 extremely important skills when it comes to wanting to organize. And not only that, but many of us grew up in cluttered, chaotic households. I wonder if you could think back to your childhood and just remember like what your home was like, what the piles were like, what the shelves look like. Was it hard to find things in your home? Was it easy to find things in your home? You can also think about like, did you move a lot? Did you have a parent, like maybe your parents split up, or maybe you had a parent that passed away? All of those experiences that kind of impact where we live and the stuff that we have, it really affects our ability to organize. And I just want to start off by saying that if you live in a cluttered environment, that's not a sign of laziness. It's not a sign of failure. Your home is not a reflection of your worth. People who have clean homes are not better than people who have cluttered homes. Clutter is not moral. Clutter is not a moral issue. It does not make someone good or bad. It's just stuff. It's neither good nor bad. Okay? Your home may look like an Instagram, content creator, or your home may be something that you actually hide from the world. And either way, you can still be a good person. You can still be a person who is wonderful and giving and kind and loving and a great parent and a great partner and just a great human in general. Okay. So again, the clutter that you may see in your home, it's not a sign of laziness. It's not a sign of failure. It doesn't reflect your worth, and it isn't a moral issue. Can we all just like grab hands together and make sure that we really begin to let that sink in? Now, your space is a reflection of what's going on in your mind. And so the ADHD mind is often a little bit cluttered and chaotic. And that's just like, that's where we're at. That's just very normal. So if you're looking around and you're saying, yeah, my space is a little cluttered and chaotic, well, that makes sense because most often the ADHD brain is also a little bit cluttered and chaotic. Okay? Everyone with ADHD knows what to do to improve their lives. You go to bed at a reasonable time and you wake up early, make a list, cross the things off the list in order, manage your time well. Yeah, we know what to do, but ADHD is not a disorder of not knowing what to do. It's a disorder of knowing exactly what to do, but not being able to get yourself to do it. That's why ADHD is so frustrating. We're smart and we want to succeed, but we can't get ourselves to do the things that we know we should do in order to make improvements. That's why I created Focused. I'm a life coach with multiple certifications. And since 2019, I've spent thousands of hours coaching adults with ADHD. Time for me to focus on you. Hello. Welcome to your coaching call. I am going to be coaching you today on relationships. I know what it takes to help an adult with ADHD go from hot mess express to grounded and thriving. Focused is my monthly coaching membership where we go deep and we get to the root cause of what holds us back with ADHD. I'll teach you how to understand your ADHD brain, regulate your emotions, and accept yourself, flaws and all. With this foundation, we build the skills to improve life with ADHD. And not only do you get skills and tools in Focused, but you're surrounded by a huge community of adults with ADHD who are also doing the work of self-development right alongside of you. Dr. Ned Hallowell says, healing happens in community, and I have absolutely found this to be true. As a matter of fact, listen to what actual Focus members have to say about being in this program.
What can I say about Focused?
Full community of people who have issues similar to you, and no one judge you.
Focused has really supported me with my difficulties and asking for help. I've been encouraged and cheered on by the community.
I really like that you can do as much or as little as you want. It's not just about the volume of the content, it's about the quality.
Focus has helped me understand ADHD better.
I would recommend this to anyone.
I would thoroughly recommend Focused.
I can confidently say that this is one of the best decisions that I have made for myself.
So if you're an adult with ADHD who wants to figure out how to be motivated from the inside out and make real lasting changes in your life, join hundreds of others from around the world in Focused. Click the link in the episode description to check it out. Now, I don't know where you are in your journey. You might be completely satisfied and happy with the space that you're living in. And if that is the case, awesome. I hope you still hang out with us here. I hope you still enjoy this episode. I hope that I can still entertain you and that we can still be besties. But you don't need to apply any of what I'm saying to your life. If you are happy with the way that your space is, if you feel like it's working for you, if you can find everything, if you're just satisfied, good. That's wonderful. But if you are feeling like it's not working for me, everything does feel cluttered. It is a little bit dysregulating. I feel kind of activated and triggered in my own space, which I don't really love. And also I'm struggling to find things. I'm struggling to just locate the basic things. I feel like I'm always having to spend more time getting out the door in the morning because I'm having to look for things or I'm having to locate things. Okay, then that's this episode is for you, my friend, okay? A lot of us really avoid dealing with our stuff. And I mean physical stuff, but gosh, doesn't that apply to our emotional stuff too? But I am talking about our physical stuff. A lot of us really avoid dealing with our clutter because we're completely overwhelmed and dysregulated. And so it's not easy. It's not just a matter of just clean it up. Just make a pile. Just break it down into small steps. Just spend a little bit of time every day. All of that neurotypical advice is very cute and sure, it's logical. But when you are riddled with overwhelm and when you're completely dysregulated, when your home literally is triggering for you and you're feeling activated constantly and your body is going into fight or flight, then those tips are not helpful. It's not helpful. It's not about motivation. It's not about time. It's not about not knowing the steps. It's just about how do I deal with the way that my body is feeling about my stuff? Because clutter can really trigger shame and really can put us into a fight or flight. We can really feel our bodies being so dysregulated and kind of freaking out. And then we go into decision fatigue and shut down, and now we're frozen. Now we just are completely frozen, and it looks like we're lazy, but we're not lazy. We're just struggling. We're really, really, really struggling with the way that our body is feeling. Whew. Okay, so the key here is not please give me the tips and tricks to know how to organize. Like that is all Googleable and like, sure, we're going to talk about it. But the key here is how do I actually self-soothe so that my body can stop freaking out so that I can implement the very logical steps that I know how to do. I mean, you're smart. You know what to do. It's not a matter, again, with everything with ADHD, it's not a matter of not knowing what to do. It's a matter of not being able to do the things that you know would help you. It's like, I know what to do, but I just can't get myself to do it. Yeah, that is the definition of ADHD. I know what to do. I can't get myself to do it. What's in the way? What's the barrier? It's our bodies. It's the way that we're feeling. It's our nervous system freaking out. It is our dysregulation. It is the going into fight or flight. We can't do executive functioning work like organization when our bodies are in that state. And so what's the solution to that? How do you learn to self-soothe? And I truly believe, and you've heard me say this a million times, if you're a longtime listener, you've heard me say this a million times, emotional regulation is the main issue with ADHD if we can learn to process and self-soothe. Process the emotion, soothe the emotion, move into like a more neutral state. That's everything. Then we can actually implement the tools that we know we need to use. Then we can actually implement the logical steps that, it's like start small. Yeah, start small, except when my body is freaking out, I can't do anything. It's just so interesting how the very logical, some would say neurotypical tips, they make sense, but they don't make sense when your body's freaking out.